Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a wealthy pedophile who liked to round up high school girls and tie them to his aisle. Rich and powerful friends of his from all around the world who fly to Epstein's paradise to violate the girls, to violate the girls.
Order! I said order!
The media started to get rough and the girls began to tell. Before Epstein could spill the beans, he was dead inside a cell. Didn't kill himself. A-list started to make the rounds with the names of suspect pervs. There's Epstein and his mistress too, the president and the prince, the movie star, the professor and many more. Here on Epstein's Island.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
All right, folks, so this just came in, literally just came in while we were on the air. Axios breaks the story. Exclusive. DOJ, FBI conclude Epstein had no client list and self-deleted from when we clipped this over to the YouTubes. That is, wow. Wow, just broke 1 hour ago as of 10 p.m. Sunday night. President Trump's Justice Department and FBI have concluded they have no evidence that convicted sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client list, or was murdered, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Wow, that wasn't in the headline. So they said he did no blackmail?
Where the fuck did you get the balls?
Wow. No blackmail either. Wow, not just no client list, no blackmail.
And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, you know, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m. Thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Cash is going to, Director Patel, is going to get us a detailed report as to why the FBI withheld all of those documents.
Okay, I want to be clear because I think people got frustrated because they were expecting more. You were expecting more, and you didn't find out less than 24 hours before the release. You got a whistleblower that confirmed that there were way more documents that they were supposed to turn over, and then you found out just before that.
Well, sure. And you're looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files. You know, there were flight logs, there were names and victims' names. And we're going, where's the rest of the stuff? And that's what the FBI had turned over to us. And so a source said, whoa, all this evidence is sitting in the Southern District of New York. Yep. So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. Cash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. And, you know, we're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein, because there are a lot of victims.
Well, you had identified in phase one over 254.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public that you get in your possession?
Yeah, the FBI hasn't had, obviously, they haven't looked at the thousands of pages of documents that they've just received Friday. Yeah. But Cash has a team going through them, and it's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know. The Biden administration sat on these documents. No one did anything with them. And why were they sitting in the Southern District of New York? I want a full report on that. You know, sadly, these people don't believe in transparency, but I think more, unfortunately, I think a lot of them don't believe in honesty. And it's a new day. It's a new administration. And everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
And that goes the same with the JFK files,
JFK,
RFK files,
Martin
MLK.
Luther King. Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What are the things that, and maybe some people don't understand the need to redact. In the case of a victim, that should be pretty obvious to people. What are the other things that maybe you'd have to redact?
Well,
national security?
No, of course, national security, some grand jury information, which is always going to be confidential. But we'll see. Let's look through them as fast as we can, get it out to the American people, because the American people have a right to know, not only on that, but on Kennedy, on Martin Luther King, on all of these cases that the Biden administration has just sat on for all these years. So yeah, it's really, it's not sad, it's infuriating that these people thought that they could sit on this information, but they can't. It's a new day, and we believe in transparency, and it's going to come out. And when we redact things, Sean, what we're going to do is not just pull pages out like they used to do. If something's redacted, you will know the line, and you will know why it's redacted, like a victim's name, identifying information of a victim.
New details on disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. A review ordered by the Justice Department and the FBI found no evidence that Epstein kept a client list of associates who he blackmailed or conspired with to victimize dozens of women. That's according to a new memo reviewed by ABC News. The DOJ also released hours of footage which officials say further confirms that Epstein died by suicide while in his jail cell in Manhattan in 2019. His death came weeks after his arrest on federal sex trafficking and conspiracy charges. According to the federal review, no further charges are expected in connection to the Epstein case, and no further records will be released from the investigation.
In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to charges of soliciting prostitution from a minor and was sentenced to a mere 13 months in jail, a controversially lenient punishment. It was during this time that whispers of Epstein's connections to intelligence agencies started to circulate. Some speculated that his light sentence was a result of his cooperation with intelligence agencies, specifically the Mossad. He was eventually arrested on July 6, 2019. The death of Jeffrey Epstein on August 10, 2019 sent shockwaves through the world and immediately raised suspicions. How could a man who was under high-profile scrutiny and held in a secure facility manage to take his own life? The circumstances surrounding Epstein's death became the subject of intense speculation and fueled conspiracy theories that continue to persist. The official narrative was something that would easily pass for a Hollywood script. According to the official narrative, Epstein found himself confined to his jail cell in the Special Housing Unit, SHU, of the Metropolitan Correctional Center. This unit, designed to house high-profile and at-risk inmates, was supposed to provide enhanced security and surveillance. According to official reports, Epstein's cellmate was transferred out earlier that day, leaving him alone in his cell. This, coupled with the fact that the guards on duty were overworked and understaffed, created an environment ripe for potential foul play. As the night wore on, the surveillance footage revealed a series of irregularities and lapses in protocol. The guards assigned to monitor Epstein's cell were allegedly found to be asleep or distracted, failing in their duty to ensure his safety. One of the key factors that raised eyebrows was the apparent violations of jail procedures. Epstein was supposed to be under constant surveillance, yet reports emerged that the guards on duty had failed to conduct regular checks and falsified records to cover up their negligence. This revelation only added to the suspicion that foul play may have been involved, but the story took an even darker turn when Epstein's first suicide attempt came to light. On July 25, 2019, Epstein was found semi-conscious in his prison cell with injuries to his neck. This incident raised concerns about his well-being and led to him being placed on suicide watch. As the investigations unfolded, more details emerged that added to the intrigue. It was revealed that Epstein had been taken off suicide watch just days before his death, despite a previous incident that had raised concerns about his well-being. This decision raised questions about the judgment of those responsible for his care and whether it was a deliberate move to create an opportunity for him to take his own life. Amidst all the chaos and controversy, there was one crucial piece of evidence that could have shed light on the events leading up to Epstein's first suicide attempt: the surveillance video. The footage from the jail's CCTV cameras outside Epstein's cell could have provided valuable insights into what transpired that day. But, as it turns out, this crucial evidence was not meant to see the light of day. In a shocking revelation, U.S. prosecutors disclosed that the surveillance video from Epstein's first suicide attempt was destroyed by technical errors. The jail mistakenly saved footage from the wrong cell, resulting in the accidental erasure of the evidence that could have potentially revealed crucial details about Epstein's state of mind and the circumstances surrounding his first suicide attempt. The implications of this erasure were staggering. It raised questions about the transparency and integrity of the investigation into Epstein's death. How could such a critical piece of evidence be mishandled? Was it a genuine mistake, or something more sinister at play? These are the questions that demand answers, and the public is left grappling with the unsettling reality that the truth may forever remain obscured. Adding to the intrigue were the malfunctioning cameras in the area surrounding Epstein's cell. These cameras, which should have captured crucial footage of the events leading up to his death, conveniently malfunctioned, leaving a void of visual evidence. This raised questions about whether the malfunction was a mere coincidence or a deliberate attempt to conceal the truth. The suspicious circumstances surrounding Epstein's death prompted immediate investigations by the FBI and the Department of Justice. These agencies sought to uncover the truth behind the events leading up to his demise and determine whether any foul play was involved. The focus of the investigations was not only on the guards who were on duty, but also on the broader system that allowed such lapses in security and accountability. The FBI and the Department of Justice conducted interviews, reviewed surveillance footage, and analyzed the evidence meticulously. They sought to establish a clear timeline of events and determine whether there were any individuals who may have had a motive to silence Epstein permanently. The investigations were complex and far-reaching as they delved into the web of connections Epstein had cultivated over the years. Is Epstein alive? We may never know for sure. However, the breadcrumbs of evidence may one day lead internet detectives to the real truth.
You serious?
My second question, it's a little bit different topic, but it's one that a lot of people are talking about. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know.
Yeah, we called it a bullshit.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? So I have it. Does anybody want to hear it again? You sure? Are you sure? Okay. So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. Right? This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. We have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called The Snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. The border. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
No way.